There's a 128 gig 5090. Valve's new VR headset is getting detailed, and Intel prepping the B770. Let's get into the hot news, everybody. I'm your Brett host. We're gonna be going over the hottest tech news I can find on the internet while you enjoy your breakfast this Tuesday, September 9th, 2025. And we're gonna start off today just reminding you that we do have our Goodbye Community Day that we're doing here in Pittsburgh this coming Saturday, September 13th, 2025. We have a whole bunch of stuff going on for it. As mentioned, we have companies providing prizes for giveaways such as ASRock with their motherboards here. Thermaltake has some stuff on its way. We also got a commitment from MSI that they're going to be providing a few things. Falcon Northwest came in clutch with a $5,000 Tiki PC that's going to be custom wrapped. Novel Keys is providing mouse pads, and take a look at this picture of all of the things in the office that we decided that we're going to depart with. There's going to be some stuff that's just regular old giveaway prizes. We're going to have a silent auction, we're going to have a live auction, and we're going to make it so that we're raising money for the center in South Africa that is there for people with special needs and disabilities. So if you could help support that, we're going to take care of all of that this Saturday. We're going to have multiple PCs that are going to be on offer, including one of my own son's PCs. He has a 7800 X3D 4070 Super, I believe. The Spider-Man Spider-Verse GPU is what I got him one year. And so we're departing with that, and so he wants to give it away this Saturday. We're going to have multiple PCs. I think Kyler's old PC we're also giving away. I believe that also has a 4070 in it. So we're going to be getting rid of things around the office that we think we might not necessarily need in the near future, as well as things that companies are providing, and it's going to be a good time. So if you can make it out there, please RSVP via the link below so that we can get an accurate head count, because we will be providing pizza, and I think soda is kind of what the obligation we've agreed to in terms of the venue. So in case you can make it this Saturday, 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Resonine Esports here in Pittsburgh. And in case you can make a new GPU, you might want to consider doing it, because that's exactly what some people are doing, because the new 5090 has been spotted for $13,000. And you might be wondering what makes it worth that much. Well, it's having an absurd amount of VRAM, 128 gigabytes. And when I say absurd, I mean that this is insane. This is a quite literally unfathomable GPU, because there is no VRAM out on the market right now that it makes this possible. But allegedly, this is a prototype that people have been able to get their hands on because it has GDDR7X memory, which again is not yet out on the commercial market, which based on the details of how we know a 5090 is set up with its VRAM chips, that would mean it has to have 4 gigabyte modules for each section of the VRAM, which is again not something that exists on GDDR7. We currently only have 3 gigabyte modules. So reports are that it's a GDDR7X setup. The NVIDIA SMI is reporting that it's actually working. This is not something that it looks like the person who's reporting on this is trying to sell directly. It's just evidence that it does exist out on the market, that people are modifying these cards to be obscene monsters when it comes to their LLM capabilities of being able to load massive models onto these things. This is ridiculous how they're pulling this off. But 13 grand, that's a 6 times price increase for 4 times as much memory. You got to decide if that's worth it. But in case you want to be a little smarter with your money, you should definitely check out today's video sponsor. So I ain't no doctor, but even I know that sitting all day ain't too good for us. Now I get that it's hard to not sit all day, because let's face it, it's comfy as heck, especially if you've got a stationary pitter-patter keyboard type job like me. Thankfully, today's sponsor FlexiSpot offers a solution to the sit versus stand dilemma. FlexiSpot makes high quality desks that do both, like this E6 Max here. You can sit or you can stand. Or you can even sit on the desk while it stands, because this tough little fella can lift 355 pounds over 20,000 times. If you happen to be the guy lucky enough to have roughly 88 Founders Edition 5090 sitting on your desk, the FlexiSpot E6 Max can still raise and lower with no issues. Taking a little peek under the hood here, we see a sturdy steel frame supporting everything, and that powerful motor we just talked about. Now, despite the heftiness of the lifting strength, the actual motion is smooth as DLSS 4 without the need for frame gen. This wide but totally normal array of beverages stays nice and inside each cup as they go up and up and up and up. Maybe you're also a clumsy fella, like the guy that we let hold the cameras for some reason, and you're worried about stability at full height with a full desktop. No worries, that sturdy frame we talked about earlier keeps your precious computers and other desk trinkets perfectly safe with no wobbles. I'd also be doing a disservice by not talking about how nice the bamboo desktop option is. We went with the 48x24 curved bamboo at the suggestion of Michael here, who actually uses a larger version of this same desk. And trust me, the curved front is a comfort game changer, whether you're sitting or standing. Now, something that's even better for you than standing throughout the day is walking throughout the day. FlexiSpot makes the perfect companion to a standing desk in the form of their walking pads. This bad boy right here clocks in at under 40 pounds, so it's super easy to move around your room. And it's got shock absorbing pads on the feet to give you a more comfortable workout experience. The included remote lets you adjust the speed on the go, ranging from a gingerly stroll to a hearty jog. Change the way you use your desk today and pick up the E6 Max standing desk from FlexiSpot, along with a FlexiSpot walking pad today, all via the links in the description below. Thanks to FlexiSpot for sponsoring. Well, it's not just FlexiSpot that allows you to be smarter with your money. AMD is going to be launching a new chip allegedly in 1 week on September 16th. The 9500F has its release date for that 16th of September, but they also put out some slides showcasing that it's supposed to be faster than the 7500F by 11% in esports titles, 9% in regular games. There's been some third-party benchmarks that indicated that it's only like 3.5% faster in real world, kind of going back to that Zen 5% meme that happened originally, but it's likely going to come in at roughly the same price point as the 7500F and just kind of slot in for a non-integrated GPU version of a CPU that a lot of people want to pick up. Currently, there's only indication that it's going to launch in China. It's not quite clear if it'll make it to the rest of the markets, but that is happening next week. And what happened last week was Intel added new games to their APO list. APO is their application optimization, which allows for certain CPUs to have faster gaming performance just by turning on this setting. So they added a whole bunch of games, including a lot of games that came out a while ago, but it's free performance for just turning on a setting. Intel has to manually validate all of these CPUs with all of these games and find out the different tunings for the CPU cores and all of that in order to optimize it for better gaming. But that's the general idea of APO, is that it just tweaks your CPU ever so slightly to be better for the game that you're playing. And Reece plays the game of saving you money on tech products. Let's see what he has for you today.
Yo, welcome back to UFD Deals, bringing the hottest tech deals on the internet. And hey, here's your deals. Starting us off, we have this 8-bit Retro 87 wireless hard-swappable mechanical keyboard with the Xbox edition in this glorious green, going for only $64.99, making it $50 off. But then next, we have the Logitech Pro X Superlight wireless gaming mouse, available in white for $99.99, making it $50 off. I have one of these at home. I freaking love this thing. And then lastly today, we have the Lian HydroShift 2 360 TL with this AIO CPU liquid cooler, going for $163.99, making it $76 off, and another thing I have at home. And hey, with that, the deals are done. You can find these and more linked in the video description down below. But until next time, I'm gonna hand you off back to Brett for the rest of your hot news. Cheers.
Well, Reece, I don't care how much money it's going to cost me. I'm very interested in the Steam Frame, which is newly trademarked by Valve to indicate that they are coming out with a new VR headset sometime soon. Now, some outlets are indicating that this is the home console, which, based on everything that I've read, is not quite true. This is supposed to be the actual VR headset, mixed reality headset that they've been developing, kind of like a Steam Deck for your face. Now, there's a lot of interesting details about this that aren't really found in this trademark filing that Valve has done. Based on everything that I read, Valve is really looking to make this more than just a index setup where you require the lighthouses. It's supposed to be more akin to something like the Vision Pro or the MetaQuest, where it's a built-in all-in-one experience of having a Steam Deck on your face. But the interesting part is all of the data mining that's been revealed about this indicates that it's probably going to be an ARM processor, which means that SteamOS is going to get optimized for ARM as well, which will open up the ecosystem quite a bit for Linux gaming. And I'm intrigued as to how exactly they're going to pull that off. I'm kind of curious what this looks like. Maybe the Steam Frame gets ARM, maybe it gets x86, but I'm excited for it. The only bummer is I'm moving out of the United States, and getting Valve stuff in South Africa is not easy. I'm gonna more likely be able to pick up the Legion Go 2 sooner than I'm gonna be able to pick up the Steam Frame. But what some people might be able to pick up sometime soon is the Arc B770. Yes, it's popping its head up yet again, with a data miner finding that in some shipment manifestos that they have packaging that that's happening. So a corrugated white box for the beefy B770 Battlemage GPU has been found. And the last time that this packaging box situation happened for the B580, it was roughly 2.5 months from the time we saw that shipping manifest to when we got the actual GPU out on market. I think originally I said shipping manifesto. I recently saw a Streetlight Manifesto in concert, and I think that's what's currently on my noggin. But with 2.5 months from the shipping manifest to release would put us somewhere in the middle of November, which is actually a fairly reasonable timeline for that card. It would mean that it's about a year from when the B580 launched. I mean, the middle of December is when the B580 came out in 2024. So the middle of November or even the beginning of December for the B770 is not so outlandish. I'm excited to see what Intel has here. I'm curious what's going on there. One of the notes that I do have to say about moving back to South Africa is Wootware has quite a few different GPUs for sale. They have the Maxsun dual B60 GPU with 48 gigabytes of VRAM. I'm highly intrigued by that, considering picking it up from Wootware for some videos once I get there. But let's see what you guys had to say in the comments on both yesterday's video as well as on Thursday's episode of Hot News, because yesterday was the announcement video, kind of just putting it out there that me and my family are moving back just outside of Hot News, just like a dedicated video about it. And we got Reece Hill saying, "Welcome home, brother. As a South African who has had the privilege of living abroad, there's something magical about this place that will always draw me and others back." I agree. I'm excited to come do Hot News with you, IRL. Two peas in a buddy pod. You know, that's what they say. Speaking of, we got Total Commando saying, "Damn, I remember the original move like it was yesterday. Best of luck. Hope everything goes smoothly and works out well." I didn't know you watched this channel, buddy. We've been finding all your PSP things that you've been doing. Just fantastic work. The modding that you're doing on that console is incredible. Guys, if you haven't checked out Total Commando's channel, please go do that. I can't tell you how much Kyler has like absolutely delved into these videos ever since he found out about the work that you're doing. He's excited about the things that are going on Total Commando's channel. And then we got Devald saying, "Hey, I also live in South Africa, Pretoria. I'm so glad you guys are doing better. Hope you all the best." Then Prashrad saying, "Hey, we'll be good to have you back in Mzansi, man. Always love watching your content. Hopefully we'll run into you here in Pretoria at some point. Sending lots of love and support." And Xander Fitness Official saying, "Goodbye, Brett. We'll miss you. No one has the dedication or the virtue that you possess. We're welcoming this change. However, this is a new chapter, and every chapter is a new adventure. As Kevin Durant, Fitness Official, would say, you leaving keeps you big as hell." Appreciate it. Appreciate all the kind words that happened on yesterday's video. There was a lot of them, like Octagonal Software saying, "I'm so happy for you guys. I genuinely cried when you showed how well Emmett's doing compared to when y'all first moved back to the States, and hearing how all the fundraising has directly helped is just incredible." Yeah, Emmett is in such a good spot right now. The fundraising has led to clinical trials and awareness that like just wasn't there before, and all of those cannonballs that we did not only allowed us to raise funds, but raise awareness and just make it so that we had treatments that we weren't aware of when we first moved back to America, and nobody was. Which is like part of the fundraising journey, is like you're discovering things. And so we have Emmett on medication regimen right now that is frankly life-changing. And so he's been on this for almost 2 years. This isn't like, oh, things are good right now and we're just gonna go. It was like things have been great for a while, and we've been able to make the changes that we need in order to think that we can succeed over there. And you know, it is thanks to this community that this is even possible. The UFD Tech audience has sacrificed in order to provide a better future for our family, but then also, you know, for everybody else who gets to see what's going on here. As I mentioned in yesterday's video, you know, my wife and I have a deeper lived experience of what it means to advocate for those with disabilities and special needs, and that's you know, we have a vision for what we want to do in South Africa with the nonprofit that we work with in order to like collaborate and bring that to like greater advocacy there. So it's just, there's a lot good happening, and it's been really enjoyable. Life has been really good over the last 2 years. and I'm excited for the future. You know, I was talking with Oz Talks Hardware recently. We had a little chat, and I just talked to him about like, yeah, like things have been great, and I know they're not always going to be like this, but it's a beautiful reprieve from how things were. You know, when we first moved to Pittsburgh was rough, and when we first moved to America it was rough. Like we slogged through probably about 4 years of really, really difficult times, and now we're on the brighter side of that. And you know, I'm not foolish enough to believe that difficult times won't happen in the future, you know, but I know we're more prepared for them now. And then also, you know, just I'm thankful for where we're at. And we got music saying, Brett, I'm so happy to hear you're able to move your family back home because your son is doing better. Congratulations. I look forward to following your journey and support Emmett and UFD Tech in the future. America's my home. There's so many people who think I'm South African. I'm not. I'm American, born in America, raised in America, moved to South Africa when I was 25. So like not at all South African. You know, I had a child who was born there, but that's very different. And then speaking of people thinking things I'm not, Redham Wolf saying, holy yes, the way Zach's voice starts cracking up at 4 minutes, you can tell it's taking everything he has in him not to break down sharing his story. Wish you all the best in South Africa. I'm not Zach's Tector. We live in the same region. We, you know, have similar styles of content, and we're basically the same height, but we're not the same guy. It's just, we're not the same person. And Brian saying, I love that people think you didn't think this over for a long time. It's not an easy choice to move states, yet alone different continents alone. With the family, I'm sure you all had a great long talk about it. Good luck on your journey and travels. Looking forward to the news set and life updates while there. Yeah, some of the comments that I laugh the most at is people being like, you must not be up to date on the news there. Like, I'm in regular contact literally every single day with people who live there. We're well researched. We are well experienced, and we have people who are actually living there talking to us about what life is like. We're good. And then Mateus asking the real questions, saying, do you have to flip the camera upside down while filming in South Africa? Yeah, it'll be in the editing software. It's a 180 rotation. It's not going to be too big of a deal. I know a lot of people think that it's only Australia, and I think that was the response, saying, no, that's just Australia from Gunnar Me Leggies. What's with the Southern Hemisphere priority of Australia? Number one, not real, not a real place. Number two, South Africa's just as Southern Hemisphered. I don't like, what do you mean? And then Trigger Rich saying, excited to see you back in SA. Unsure what you mean by looking for streamers for the channel. I didn't even know UFD streamed. I do stream semi-casually, though I'm sure the other streamers will be biting at the opportunity to work with you. I'll spread the word. All the best on your journey back to the motherland. Yeah, so we do stream. We run a non-stop stream over on Twitch. We give away PCs all of the time. We currently have that going on for Falcon Northwest Tiki, which they're providing for what's going on currently, as well as my personal Falcon Northwest Talon with Reese's face on it that I've upgraded with a 5090. We're doing that over on twitch.tv/UFD Tech. But with the whole like running 24/7, there's times where we're just running reruns of our videos here on UFD Tech. And one of the aspirations I've had for that is giving other people the opportunity to make streaming their career via this. And then also like giving the audience more direct engagement. So that's what we're looking for, is somebody to be on our stream, replacing the replay machine for certain portions of the day. I don't know what that looks like. Honestly, this is such a weird job and opportunity that we can provide. Like, I would like somebody who's tech focused, but like the amount of people who are like tech enthusiasts and streamers is super minimal. We're looking for a very weird subset of expertises and you know, experience that I don't have a definitive answer. I'm taking in all applications. If you want to write/review for tech stuff, UFD Tech has openings. If you want to stream for us, UFD Tech has openings. It's going to be a conversation with whoever applies and trying to figure out what does that look like for us. I mean, Reece currently streams over on Twitch for several hours a day. That's not why he was hired. It's just kind of like we wanted to make sure that we were providing something, and so that's currently what's going on. We want to expand that. That's kind of what we're looking for. And then Sarnash saying, has it already been 6 years? No way! I remember when you moved to the States. Yeah, it's not quite 6 years. I think it was September of 2019 that we made the announcement video. The end for UFD Tech, 5 years ago, September 20th. Yeah, that's when we made the announcement. It's a wild time. It has been a difficult 6 years. It has not been simple. It's not been easy. There's been stress and strain in multiple different aspects of my personal life that, just don't get manifested here. But, the content has suffered because of that. I just, a lot of times, haven't had the capacity to go beyond just doing hot news. And that's like, we have kind of fallen into that rut of mostly hot news because it's just, some days I don't have more in me than this. But things have been improving. We're going back. I'm excited for the future. I really want to expand the content offerings that UFD Tech has, so we'll just have to see what that looks like. And I'm going to look at a different place than here because I'm going to be done with this episode of Hot News. I'll see you back here for more of the Oz Tech News later.